guys, today that we are studying about TFTP. So today is TFTP part 2. So in the previous class we have studied about TFTP, where in the part 1 I told you about the theory portion of TFTP, why TFTP is used, and we have taken or we have done a practical in the packet tracer as well, where I've taken my computer and we got a router, and from the router we have connected it to the computer, and then you have shared the configuration. So it was in the packet tracer that we have done it. Now that today in part 2, we will be studying or we will be doing it in the real time. So now going with a real scenario. So I got my computer here. So this is my computer. And my computer is connected to our router here. We got a router, and this router is given fastnet 0/0. It has been already assigned with the IP 192.168.10.1/24. And my computer has been given with the IP 192.168.10.100/24. So already the LAN connectivity is done. Now, also the telnet connection is established. So this is the pre-configuration that I'm talking about. The telnet configuration is established so that, say, using the LAN connectivity from my computer, I can do the telnet to the router. So for that, you already know, for doing the telnet, the VTY password needs to be configured, and you need to give the command login as well as you need to give the enable secret password also, which is already configured. So this is the pre-configuration. So now let me take, so as I told you, we have the LAN connectivity. Let me now just ping from my computer to the router so that we'll check for the connectivity. And after that, we'll take the telnet connectivity and we'll take the remote access of the router. So now let me go to CMD and to check my config. So ipconfig is a command to check my config. And you can see, say, I have been assigned with the IP. So here you can see this is the adapter. This is the Ethernet adapter that we use, and it is configured with the IP 192.168.10.100. Now, so I'll ping to the router here, ping 192.168.10.1. So of course you can see I'm getting the connectivity to the router. So the ping is working. That means I got the connectivity. Now that, let me take the telnet access as well. So let me go to this. Let me go and let me take the telnet access. Telnet to 192.168.10.1. So of course, this is the router, and I've accessed the router via the LAN connectivity. So the password, the VTY password is being asked, and the VTY password suppose it is Cisco. And now that I have entered the router and the host name is yellow. Now that, let me go to the config mode. Yes, and even the enable secret password is also Cisco. Now that I've entered into the privilege execution mode, right? Now, yes, now that I'm in the router. Now what I'm going to do is, from my computer, so to this router, I've established the connectivity. And from this router, I'm going to copy the configuration. The running configuration I'm going to copy to my computer, and my computer will be acting as a TFTP server. And now, of course, you might have seen my computer. Now it is a Windows client machine now. Of course, it is not a TFTP server. So I have already installed certain softwares which make my computer work as a TFTP server. One such software is the TFTP manager here. So let me take the TFTP manager. So here, TFTP, so server manager. So here you can see, say, of course, this software will help my computer to work as a TFTP server. So now, of course, let me connect it. So you can see, connect to the local server. So my computer will act as a TFTP server. And so, of course, if you want to copy the configuration to my computer, which is the TFTP server, it has to be copied to a particular location. So this particular location can be set in the software here. So let me now take the software and let me now set that location. So we'll be having here, of course, this is the location here. Now, so I can add another location. So let me delete this one. If you want, you can delete this, the default location here. So it says C program data, say Win agents, TFTP server, then TFTP root, something like that. Now I don't want to be added. I don't want the files to be added to this particular location. I need to add to a customized location. So I'll click on to this one, say suppose in the desktop. Suppose in the desktop, let me create another folder. Suppose, let me create TFTP test. So it is to this particular folder that the configuration will be saved. Suppose the virtual folder, suppose test. So now in this particular folder, yes, access. Okay, so I'll be giving the access, the read-only access and the write access. Read and write access will be given so that the TFTP client, that means my router, will have the access to read from the TFTP server, that is my computer, and write to my computer as well. Now, so of course, yes. Now what I'm going to do now, so I've changed the folder to test. So that means we'll have in the desktop, of course, let me show it to you. So in the desktop, we'll be having a folder test, TFTP test. And in this particular folder, the file will get saved. So now we'll go back to the router, and to copy the configuration, the running configuration, we'll execute the command copy running configuration to the TFTP. So this is the command to copy the running configuration to the TFTP. Now we'll give the address of the TFTP, which is 192.168.10.100 is my TFTP server's IP or my computer's IP. And this is the destination file. So that means the running configuration is saved to my computer and it needs to be saved with a particular file name. And what is the file name that they're asking? So I don't want this particular name. I'm giving the name, suppose, yellow run. Yellow run is the file name, suppose. Now you can see this much has been copied. So we'll go back to the folder. We'll go back to this TFTP test. Now we'll refresh it. Okay, so again, it has to be saved in this particular folder. We'll check for that again in the software. So whether, yes, it is the test file. So here, now you can see it has been copied. So something has been copied here. So you can see this as well. Say yellow run, this has been copied. So now we have to find the location, yellow run. So the copy to the path is being copied. The TFTP path is copied. So let me go to that particular location. So it says desktop test TFTP itself. Oh, can't you find this location? Now let me again take a look at it. Test TFTP. Okay, it's TFTP test. Okay, so here it's actually another folder, test TFTP. So now let me read. So actually another folder with the test TFTP has to be created. So because here we have created something called test TFTP. Or so let me check it. Test is not there. TFTP test is there. TFTP test. Of course, it is not at all having any folders. Test TFTP. You're not having this particular folder also. Test. No. So first, let me take a look at it. Say here, we'll look for the file itself. So the file name, suppose the file name is yellow run. So we'll take a look at the file name itself, yellow. Oops. Even I didn't get the file name yet. So, but it is showing that it is already saved. Let me take a look at the software again for one more time. TFTP Server Manager. So which says it is already saved. Or you can open with. You can open. Suppose, say, of course, we can't see it yet, but the software says it is copied. Now that I am unable to locate it, maybe it is, say, in some other location. But anyway, you have seen yellow run, a file name has been saved. Now let me open it. So if you open, you can see the configurations. And the configuration says the host name is yellow. So what if I want to change, say now that I didn't get the file, but I was able to, say, get this thing. I was able to get the configuration. Now that the host name needs, I'm changing the host name to red. Red, hello. Suppose a random name. And I've saved it as well. Saved it. Now that I can change whatever configuration you want, you can save it. Say, if at all I want to give the IP addresses, right? Say, suppose this IP will not be changed because this, of course, we need to telnet it and we need to obtain the connectivity. So if at all I want to give the IP address to fastnet 0/1, I don't need to go to the router to give the IP address. I can change in this one itself. So I can give the IP, suppose, say previously. So of course, when you access it, the router show IP interface brief, you can see the IP address fastnet 0/0 is administratively down and it does not have any IP address. So now let me configure the IP address here. Say suppose I'm configuring 192. So here, so let me configure it 192.168. Suppose 20.network. 192.168.20.network. And of course, say if I delete this one, so it will go up. But again, if the cable is not connected, it may go down to down state. Okay, so now let me save it. Now that it is named with yellow run only. So in the hello run this config, what I've changed is I've changed the name to red hello, and I've given the IP address to this particular interface. So now now that I've copied, sorry, now that I've copied here, copied the running configuration from the router to my computer, I shall retrieve it back. But this time when you retrieve it, the host name has changed. Hello has changed to red hello. And also I've given interface fastnet 0/1 and IP, which is 192.168.20.1. So when I retrieve it back, this needs to be reflected. We'll see that. So now to retrieve it back, I'll go to the router. Right. Again, I'll check the connectivity. So ping from the router, I'll check the connectivity 192.168. Now 10.100. Of course, it is connected. Now, if at all I want to copy the contents, copy the file from the particular TFTP, I can use the command like this: copy from where I want to copy, from the TFTP I want to copy, to the running configuration I need to copy. Now, address of the name, which is 192.168.10.1 is the, 100 is the IP address of the TFTP. Now, the source file name. I have to give the source file name. So I've saved the file name here as you can see, the file name. So I closed it. It was hello-run. So even this also you can see previously we have saved the name as hello-run. So now I can say give the name as hello-run. So here, hello, source file name is hello-run. So what the router will do is that the router will now check this computer or check this IP for this particular file. And if the computer finds that file, then he's gonna take that file and will copy it to the running configuration. So now I pressed enter. So I suppose my router is searching for this computer, and of course he'll be searching for this particular file. Okay, now you can see accessing. Now it is loading yellow run. And now, after getting loaded, what can you notice? This host name. Yes, you can see the yellow host name has changed to red hello. And of course, when you take a look at show IP interface brief, and you can see this is admin down, but still it has been configured with the IP 192.168.20.1, which I've not configured from the router, but I've changed the configuration from the TFTP and have copied this configuration to the router. And thus, this is how you this is how you copy the files to the TFTP server and you copy the files back to the router. So that's all. Thank you.